Hello all my beautiful sisters from those other misters, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the process of visiting a dermatologist in Australia because I live in Australia and I haven't seen a dermatologist anywhere else in the world. But if you have, feel free to leave the process down in the comments section. And I'm also going to be talking about the process of being prescribed isotretinoin. So the first step to seeing a dermatologist in Australia is getting a referral. Now, as far as I'm aware, you can't see any specialists in Australia unless you have a referral from a GP or from another specialist. So you're going to have to go to your doctor and you're going to have to discuss your concerns with them and request a referral for a dermatologist. Now, if you are going to a doctor and they've never treated you before, they've never seen your issue before, and it's not a very obviously acute situation that needs to be treated by a specialist, you might find it a little bit more difficult to get a referral to a specialist. So you might have to visit the doctor a few times. They might want to try and treat you themselves. In the past, the very first time that I had an issue that I'm now being treated by a specialist for was all the way back in 2011, and I had a little acne flare up, and I went and saw a doctor who I had seen before, and I talked to her about my issue and my concerns, and I said that I actually wanted to see a dermatologist about it because it was very out of the ordinary for me, and she refused. She was a little bit, look, I'm gonna say she was a bit of a bitch, to be completely honest, and she said that she wanted to treat it herself, and she did, and it worked, but it wasn't the ideal treatment for me. And years later, this year, when I went and saw the dermatologist and I was telling him about my history, he actually said that I really should have been treated by a specialist that very first time because it was unusual and they probably could have got it under control well before it got to the point that it was at when I finally went and saw him. So I think if you know that something is wrong, you definitely must go and see a doctor about it. And it is okay to ask for a referral on the first appointment if you haven't seen that doctor before, but they may say no. And then you might have to be persistent. You might have to accept that they want to treat you, and maybe it will work for you. But if it's a recurring issue or it's not clearing up with treatment, you definitely need to go back to that same doctor and you need to ask for a referral. And if it's not working out, it is okay to see another doctor and get a second opinion as well. You just need to make that decision for yourself. I was very lucky in my current situation. I had been seeing my GP for many years, and he was very concerned about my skin. He actually I said to him that I was considering seeing a dermatologist, and he was actually writing out a referral as I was saying that to him, and he was like, yeah, you really need to go and see someone about this. It's not good. So there's going to be situations where getting a referral is easy, and potentially some situations where getting a referral is more difficult, especially if you don't have an established doctor that you've been seeing for many years. When it comes to having the referral written for you, your doctor may ask you if there is a specific dermatologist that you want to see or a specific clinic that you want to go to. If you know who you want to see, then you should definitely let them know. You should have the details of the clinic at the very least, so the doctor can write up that referral accurately for you. If you don't know of a specialist that you want to see or a clinic that you want to go to, your doctor can and most likely will help you choose one. I know my doctor was willing to recommend one, but it turns out that the one that I wanted to see was the one that he would have recommended anyway. So everything worked out great there. Once you have your referral, obviously the next step is to call up and make your appointment. Now, this is where things can get a little bit frustrating. If you are going to a small clinic that only has a couple of dermatologists, or if the dermatologists only work a few days a week, or if it's a big clinic like mine, however, all of the dermatologists are very sought after, you might have a really hard time getting an appointment in a timely manner. When I made my appointment, I had to wait 4 weeks to see a dermatologist. That was the earliest appointment with any of the dermatologists. But do remember to ask to go on a cancellation list, because often clinics do have cancellations and you can get in sooner. Once the day finally rolls around where you are going to see your dermatologist, remember, if it's your first time going there, go a little bit early. You are going to have to fill out some information forms. And if you are being seen for acne treatment, make sure you're not wearing makeup. They want to see what the issue is. They need to see how bad it is. If you're going for another skin condition, maybe something that is, on your arms or your torso or your legs or whatever, make sure you're wearing clothing where you can easily show them what the issue is. You don't want to be wearing skin tight jeans where you can't roll them up, but your skin condition is on the calf of your leg. So just be mindful of that. They're going to want to look at the issue, obviously. Depending on what you are seeing the dermatologist for, they will most likely take a look at your skin. In some cases, I know they need to take biopsies. Sometimes they will request that you go and have other tests done, so just be prepared for that. So then you will finally go and see your dermatologist, and this is where it's going to be different for every single person. Every single person is going to have a different experience. It's going to depend on what you're being treated for. I was being treated for cystic acne. My dermatologist was very nice. He asked me, do you know what's causing it? I was like, no, I don't. And I've tried so many things to clear it on my own. I went through the whole Dr. Google thing, like cut out dairy, cut out sugar, wash your face with water, cut out carbs, probably your hormones, you're stressed. You've probably got this issue or that issue, or this sort of acne can be caused by other underlying diseases. Like, don't do that to yourself. Don't fucking do it. Go and see a professional. Go and see a professional who can actually help you, because Dr. Google can't help shit other than make you feel more stressed. I did tell my dermatologist about my Dr. Google situation and how it hadn't helped me at all, and it had only driven me more crazy. And he was actually very nice about it. He did say that I definitely should have come and seen him sooner. So again, don't wait. Go and see a doctor. Try and get a referral. Go and see that specialist. That's my best advice. And then we discussed treatment options. So he did want me to take isotretinoin based on the type of acne I had and how severe it was. I told him that I was hesitant about that. I didn't really want to go on it because it's a really serious medication, and it is the sort of medication where you have to sort of adjust your life to it. And I just didn't really want to do that. And he was very respectful of that. He took that into consideration. He did ask me to at least consider it. He said, if you want to go on it in a month's time or 2 months time, or next time you come and see me, you can just consider it. Try not to rule it out. It is the gold standard of treatments for what's going on with you. So while he respected my decision, he was also very frank about the fact that I should try to consider it. But we settled on a different treatment. I was to go on an oral antibiotic for 7 months. 7 months. And also oral steroids for 3 weeks. So I'd be starting on a high dose, or not a high dose, but an appropriately strong dose for my weight, and then I would be weaning myself off the oral steroid over 3 weeks, the antibiotic over 7 months. So anyway, I accepted that treatment. I had been on tetracyclines for my acne in the past, and they're usually a minimum 3-month treatment, so I wasn't surprised that it was going to be long. I was surprised that it was 7 months. I was like, Jesus, that's a long time. I'm going to have to get me some of those, what are those gut pills? The probiotics. Anyway, so he asked me to come back, I believe it was in 4 months, and see him again. And as it turns out, my skin improved so much within the first week. And when I went down a dose of the oral steroid, it plateaued, and then I started to go backwards. And I made an appointment to see him again. During the time that I was waiting for that appointment, I was researching isotretinoin. I was trying to educate myself more on the medication. I was not reading people's personal experiences about it, because people have such different personal experiences, and it's a difficult medication to be on, and people cope with things differently. So I didn't want to know about people's personal experiences. I wanted to know about like medical factual information. So I was reading a lot of studies and things like that based on this medication. So when I went back and saw my dermatologist, he looked at my skin and he was like, still not doing too good. And I explained like I had massive improvement in the first week, and then I just kind of went backwards. And he said, have you considered isotretinoin? I said, yes, I have, and I will take it. And then from there, it was all systems go. So if you are planning on seeing a dermatologist in the hopes of being prescribed isotretinoin, there are a couple of things that happen just before you get your prescription, and then you can go and fill that prescription. So first thing, obviously the dermatologist will run through how the medication works, your dosage, and any like side effects that could affect you. And if you are a female, you are most likely going to have to fill out a form that it's basically a contract saying that you won't get pregnant. So isotretinoin can cause birth defects in growing fetuses, and also you can't be taking the medication when you breastfeed. It does get into your blood system, and it can cause irreparable damage to babies and growing fetuses. So you can't get pregnant, and you basically have to fill out a form that mine was all like little check boxes. It says, you know, things like, I understand that I have to take 2 forms of contraception, one being the pill, one being using condoms. I understand that if I do get pregnant, the baby will likely have birth defects, things like this. It was pretty serious, but it's a very, very serious side effect. You can't get pregnant on this medication. So after I filled that out and signed it, I gave it back to the dermatologist, and I was given a referral to go and have a blood test done. This was a fasting blood test, which means you can't eat or drink anything other than water 8 hours prior to having the test done. They test for pregnancy, and they also test your liver and kidney function. And that is because isotretinoin, it's pretty hard on your liver and kidneys, and also you can't be pregnant when you go on this medication. So the following morning I went and had my tests done, my blood tests done. They sent it off to the dermatologist, and the dermatologist called me and told me that I could go and fill my prescription. So then I went and filled my prescription. The pharmacist had a little rundown of the medication with me again, and then off I went, and here I am now. So that's pretty much all of the information that I can give you on the process of seeing a derm. The only other thing I can tell you about is the cost. Now, As far as I'm aware, there are some public dermatologists in Australia. I think you can go and see them through the public hospital system, or you can see them privately. I chose to go privately, and if you go privately, you have to pay the cost of seeing the dermatologist. Now, if you have private health insurance in Australia, you still pay to see the dermatologist, but you get a rebate, and depending on your level of coverage, that rebate may be high, it may be low. I don't know. I don't have private health insurance, so I don't know what the rebate is like, and they're all different anyway. Now, if you see a dermatologist privately in Australia, you are still covered by Medicare to a certain point. So Medicare is like our public health system. Now, if you go and see a dermatologist publicly through one of the hospital systems, I believe you don't pay anything. I think. I don't know. I might be wrong. If you guys know factually about that, please feel free to leave the information down below. But I'm pretty sure the wait times are long. And I'm talking months long, not 4 weeks long. So I paid privately and I got a rebate from Medicare. My first appointment was $235 and I got a rebate of $75.05 from Medicare. So it took it down to like, what's that? Like 170-ish dollars, maybe $160, I think. And the second time I saw him, it was cheaper. So the first appointment is always more expensive. It's like your initial appointment where they're, doing an assessment of the situation. My second appointment was $158 with a $37.70 rebate. So that still cost me about $120. Other costs involved with the process of being prescribed isotretinoin, your blood tests. Now in Australia, many places bulk bill blood tests, so you can use Medicare to get them done at no out-of-pocket cost, or you can go to a public hospital or a private hospital and use your private health insurance. However, there may be an out-of-pocket cost there. I actually go to a local private hospital that bulk bills their blood tests for things like that. So blood tests, just do your research. You can probably get them done for nothing in Australia, which is going to be very helpful for someone who is on isotretinoin, because there's a good chance you're going to need them quite regularly. The other thing is going to be filling your prescription, so actually getting your pills. Now, I'm on Oroderm. If you have private health insurance, again, it will cover some of your prescription. I think how it works is they usually have like a capped amount that you can use for prescription. So you might be able to get some for free, and then you might have to pay full price for any others once your like extras cover runs out, or they might take like a small amount off the price each time that you fill it. If you have a healthcare card in Australia, you can get cheaper subsidized medication. Now, I am actually very lucky and count my lucky stars in this case because I'm a carer for my mum, so I actually receive a healthcare card which entitles me to discounted medication. So my Oroderm usually it's 10 milligrams, 60 capsules, so it's a 2-month supply if you're taking just one a day. It's usually $35.16. The subsidized amount is only $6.50. Another thing, if you are a female, you're going to have to be on a birth control pill. So I'm on Levlin. I've been on it forever. It costs $21.09 at full price and $10 when it's subsidized. The one that really hurt me, because I'm still currently on Keflex, I don't have I threw away the box that had the price on it, but I think it was like $60 something for like 3 packets at full price. And when I first started my treatment of this, I went through 60 tablets in less than a month. So that can really burn. If you have really bad acne, your dermatologist might prescribe additional medication to help treat it quicker, because the isotretinoin, it doesn't work instantly. It takes time to get into your system and do the hard work that it needs to do, and sometimes you might need added treatment. And for me, it was prednisolone and Keflex. The prednisolone was $14.48 full price, $6.50 subsidized, so it really does add up. So I think that's pretty much everything that I can tell you guys. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I always feel like I'm forgetting something. If there is something I've forgotten, editing Haley can pop in and fill us in. But I think that's all. I suppose the only thing I can really leave this video with is by saying, don't wait. Don't wait. Go and see a doctor about it. Get a referral, go and see a specialist. Also, I will mention, in Australia, a general practitioner cannot legally prescribe isotretinoin. It has to be prescribed by a specialist, unless there are some certain like special situations. I think if you live in extremely remote areas where you do not physically have access to a dermatologist, there can be situations where a GP is allowed to prescribe it, but that is it's not usually the case for most people. You do have to go and see a specialist to be prescribed isotretinoin. But yeah, don't wait. It's your skin. Like, we only get one face and we only get one try at this, and if you let it go for too long, even if you do clear up your acne, the scarring will forever remind you of how emotionally fucked up it can make you. Like, it's so depressing. It's such a shit condition to have, along with many other skin conditions. They suck. They suck. Our skin is supposed to protect us. We're supposed to feel comfortable in it. And when you have a condition that is ugly or uncomfortable or painful or all of the above, it is the worst. So feel free to leave your comments or your experiences seeing a dermatologist down in the comments section. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.